Like Jeff and Rhonda Locker, after a nearby frack job, Lewis Meek's water went bad. Started smelling like gas.
See, 2004, they drilled this well right over here. I don't know if you can see it from here. It's 5.
Numerous water tests turned up various forms of hydrocarbons and glycol ethers. In Canada, the company doing the fracking claimed no responsibility. With his back against the wall, Lewis had no alternative but to try to drill a new water well on his property.
From 180, 160, you could smell gas. And he went in there and we got to 240. And when we put that joint on and started to try to blow it out, well, it came at us.
Natural gas exploded out of Lewis Meeks' water well for over 3 days. The Department of Homeland Security reported that over 3 million cubic feet of natural gas escaped into the atmosphere. Lewis had to get an injunction from a judge to get in Canada to cement the well to stop the flow and to provide him with a replacement water source. The big green building next to Lewis's house contains 2 cisterns that Encana fills up twice a week.
I can show you the water.
So these are 2 big water tanks that they're filling up for you. Why are they bringing it?
Tell me. If nothing's wrong, why are they bringing it?
So you actually hired a hydrogeologist to
Yep.
figure out what was going on around here?
Yeah.
And what did he say?
He said that they got everything intermingled. When they do anything like frack it, they're going to intermingle everything.
You can already see you're going to see little pearls of stuff come out of it, like oil. I just already saw one over here.
And the water that comes out of Lewis Meeks' original well is only good for some bizarre science experiments and brain-altering recreational activities.
Oh, man.
Tell me you drink that.
No way.
Tell me there ain't nothing wrong with this water.
It smelled like turpentine, that chemical smell that goes straight to your head and gets you dizzy almost immediately.
Here's the thing, I think it's criminal. What would happen if I took some chemicals like I got and took them to like the big bossy in Canada and dumped them in as well?
Yeah,
They'd have me in the pen so fast my head would spin.
for sure.
But look, if they can come out here and do whatever they want to. And they don't even have to report it and tell us what they're putting in there.
The whole concept of democracy and looking out for the little guy does not apply here.
Exactly.
It
And I'll
does
tell
not.
you, I ain't not lying. I never seen such lying, you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, their word ain't no good.
Mm-hmm.
And, and we was all raised that way.
Mm-hmm.
If your word ain't no good, you ain't no good. And you talk to these are grown men lying to you.
Right.
For what? For money. And that's it.
When we had ours tested with them to have tested and they found glycol in it, it cost us $4,400.
Something is burning on the surface there. It's like a plastic.
Glycol ethers are odorless, colorless, and are a liquid chemical component of plastic.
Something definitely in it.
When Lewis took a blowtorch to his water, I think we found a cheaper way of testing for glycol ethers. Either that or a secret Wyoming recipe for homemade plastic.
Here, wait.
Okay. I liked Lewis immediately. Cool 70s patterned mirrors, cowboy statues everywhere,
And what about these?
and the most comfortable couch in the United States.
You ready? I'm ready. That's good to sit on. Shoot me on the buffalo hides. That is fab. Wow.
John Fenton and his wife Kathy have 24 gas wells on their property, all of them visible from their front porch.
I was raised here, and at one time, there was nothing. I mean, there was no oil, nothing.
Now you
All
have
this-
everywhere you can see.
Everywhere you can see. Yeah, and like we can really sell this place with the water situation and, well, look at it. We don't own our mineral rights.
Now see this black cow right here at that little calf? That little calf's, probably less than 12 hours old right there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's a new one there. We've only got a certain, amount of water wells to work with, and God, I don't know how they even drink it, to be honest with you. It's the damnedest smelling stuff, and comes out different colors all the time, but you got to use it sometimes. I think we should strive to be the cleanest and the most environmentally conscious that we can. A lot of times it's right out in the middle of the field, you know, that's where we make our money. You see the green grass growing, that's money to us, you know, and that's fertilizer and that's feed for the cows, that's everything. And they tear up a football field sized area and drill a hole out there and they spread toxic chemicals and then on top of that you got gravel and rocks and big pieces of metal and then they pipeline everywhere and it just cuts us to pieces. There's no rhyme or reason to how they do things out here. They do it different on every hole. There's different people, nobody's watching over them. You know, it's a free-for-all. It's
John Fenton describes his home being surrounded by venting condensate tanks. At times, the fumes from the condensate tanks are so strong, they surround the house in a cloud of toxic vapor.
And you can come out here when the sun's coming up and the air is just brown. The first 100, 200 feet of air is like a brown blanket laying over the top of everything. And, you know, not only are all the animals in there breathing it and absorbing it through their skin, but all the people are too.
Kathy and her mother-in-law, who lives right down the road, suffers from headaches, dizziness, and a loss of smell and taste.
It's going to be, I know they say you have to let them drill, you know, you got to come to a compromise. You know, we already know that. We've already compromised as much as we can compromise. If they do any more drilling out here, it's just going to force people, you know, it's going to force us out of business off our land. The less people they have to deal with out here, the more they can drill. But they can drill whether we like it or not. It doesn't seem to matter that we're affected. Humans are being affected.
If I'd known what it was going to be like, I don't know that I'd brought my family here. I hate to say that because, you know, to some people might see this and wonder how I could like this, but this is my way of life. You know, my father and my grandfather were the old-time cowboys, you know, and my grandfather on my mom's side, they were farmers in Nebraska. This is my family heritage, and my wife's, this is their family farm, you know. We're proud of this, but by God, if your way of life is being besieged and your health is under attack, I don't know what else you can do. I don't know where the hell I'd go, though. Where else can I go? This is happening everywhere. That's the biggest thing I want people to know is you're not alone if this is happening to you because I'm in the same boat you are. And what we need to do is we need to get together and we need to stand up and we need to speak with a unified voice and we need to stand up to these assholes. These little guys are really enjoyable to watch and be around. And we want to raise the best, most natural, clean product that we can raise, you know. And by God, if you're breathing in dirty air and you're drinking water that could be tainted, what's going into these girls and what's coming out in those calves, you know? You got to be sure that what you're putting in them to raise that meat is as pure as it can be. You know, cute as they are, and in a year or two, they're going to be on somebody's